So I'm having this conversation with another dad at my son's game the other day that made me wonder if we should actually be telling more kids to swing for the fences instead of telling them to take it easy. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. My son had just gone 3 for 4 as I'm having this conversation with this guy. He hit a bomb. He probably hit 3 balls over 100 miles an hour, swinging absolutely max intent. And the topic came up with this guy about how some of the other kids on the team saw him hitting home runs like that, and they started to swing out of their shoes and they weren't able to control it. And how he wished they just realized that if they took a little bit more off, they would actually be able to control more balls and hit them harder. And don't get me wrong, I am not saying this guy's wrong. I think he's right about most kids. I think kids are like cars whose tires have not been properly aligned. The car does fine at 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, maybe 70, but when you hit a certain speed, if the alignment's off too much, things start to get a little shaky, literally, right? So that's what most kids' swings are like too. Swing too hard, it gets out of control. But it got me thinking, why is that not the case for my kids? I myself, as a former Division I player, was able to barrel more balls when I swung at 100%. When I hit golf balls, I am way more accurate if I swing at 100%. And all my kids are the same. So it got me wondering, why is this the case? And I think the answer is that I did this by accident, because part of all of the training we do is spent doing what we call overspeed work. So this is drill work done with light bats that force us to move about 120% faster than my kids can normally swing their game bat. So the reason they might be able to control a 100% effort swing is because they've spent so much time learning how to control a 120% effort swing. And the research actually suggests that I might be onto something here, where a study by Urban and Stodden on overarm throwing found that when you make athletes throw at less than max effort, their movements, they don't actually get more consistent. They actually get more variable. So the athletes who threw at near maximum effort had the most consistent mechanics. And telling them to slow down and be accurate was actually making their throwing patterns fall apart. So maybe we should spend more time trying to think about how to train kids with overspeed work so they can learn to control their 100% swings versus always defaulting to the idea that we should just never swing at 100%. Now, of course, a kid's body has to be able to control max effort for this theory to even hold at all, which is why every hitter that we work with, we always run them through a movement screen first to identify if there are any areas of instability or lack of motor control that are going to cause problems when we start ramping up their swings. And if you would like a copy of that same movement screen that we give our hitters, drop the word movement in the comments and I'm happy to send you a copy of it.